name is Joshua Hernandez, and this is week 4 of FTT 104 Gunsmithing Tool Labs. Today is June 7th, and what I'll be doing today is a full detailed stripping. But before we get started with that, I want to let you know that my workstation is clear and free of any live ammunition. With that being said, the tools I have for this is going to be a multi-tool and a punch and a Phillips or flathead. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to make sure to point my firearm in a safe direction. Next, I'm going to go ahead and release the magazine, which is the source of ammunition. That is empty. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pull the slide back, lock it in place, and then I'm going to do a visual and physical inspection. Visually, nothing. Physically, it is empty. I'm going to release the slide. I'm going to do a quick functions check so that way I can release the firing pin. Alright, that goes. Now I'm going to get back to you in a different angle so that way we can get started with the detailed stripping. Thank you. Alright, so I'm back in a different angle. That way everything can be seen. So first, again, magazine is out of the firearm. Having the firearm point in a safe direction. Go ahead and in order to disassemble, I'm going to go ahead and pull back slightly on the slide, pull down on the takedown lever, slide forward. That'll release the slide coming down. Next, I'm going to go ahead and remove the coil spring. Pull that out, put that to the side. Next, the slide comes out, or the barrel comes out. Next, I'm going to go ahead and work on the internals. Take those out. With that, I'm going to use this punch. So here underneath, towards the very end of the striker, I'm going to go ahead and put the punch right above there. Push down, and while I'm pushing down, I'm going to pull back on the end plate, push down, releasing tension, and the striker will push upwards. So here is the striker. Put that to the side. And next, I keep forgetting what this is called. The plunger pressure. That's gonna go there. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and put this sideways so that way the extractor can come out. In order to do that, I'm gonna push on the safety plunger. That comes out. Extractor's right there. And next, the plunger. Put that there. Alright, so now this is the slide. So slide is empty. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and work on the receiver. So next I'm going to go ahead and the locking trigger pin, just push that outwards. So that's pushed out. Put that to the side. Next I'm going to go ahead and get this next pin. Push that out. The pin towards the rear. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the slide lock or slide release. Then by the locking block. Next, I'm going to be able to pull out the trigger. So here is the trigger shoe. The housing trigger. So in order to get this set apart, pretty much pull forward, tilt it, and then you have two springs. You have one right here and one towards the back. Pretty much, I'm not going to disconnect it, but all you have to do is tilt it to the side where you see an opening, which for this one you'll pull backwards and then you'll just unhook. And then of course here you have the the oh man, I forgot what this is called. The transfer bar, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together. And then this you can disassemble as well, but there are some parts in here that are plastic, so I don't really want to mess with that. And then here, of course, is your extractor. But with this, I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the side. Or not extractor, ejector. My apologies. For this, I'm gonna go ahead and use the flat side. And there's a little spring right here that catches. So there, I'm just going to push forward, unlocking it. And then this will actually let me pull out the magazine release. So there's that. And then with this next set of tools, I'm gonna use the pliers. That way I can pull out the little spring rod. The little spring that's right there. Which is that. So that's pulled out. And then this is what hooks underneath there. So when it's locked in place. So now that's done. Next, I'm gonna release the slide release, or the lever. With that, I'm gonna use the punch. I'm gonna press down. It's gonna wiggle. Slide lever. Here, pull that out. And next is the spring. If I'm not mistaken, I think I can just get it out like that. Yep, there it is. So the firearm is fully stripped, just with its basic internals that are already put in place where they're supposed to be. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the firearm again. So first, let me go ahead and start with this. I'm gonna put the spring back in place. Alright. It's back in place. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put pressure, apply pressure right here. Nope. Okay, so that's in. I'm going to start with the magazine pin. So here I'm going to guide that in. Put my finger underneath. Alright, that's in place. I'm going to use the magazine release. With this, I'm going to have to use the punch a little bit just so I can put a little pressure backwards so the pin, so the magazine release can go in. For this, sometimes it's always best to use a vise. Alright, now we got in there. I'm going to use this again. Lock this in place. There it is. Alright. Next I'm going to go ahead and put the trigger back in. Let's go ahead and put the locking block. Now we're gonna put slide release in. Make sure that's leveled inside. Once that is, put the trigger locking pin in. And once that's in place, I'm going to put the top pin in. It's always best to have extra parts just in case you ever need them, because you never know when you're gonna end up losing them. Alright, we'll adjust that in a minute. Next, I'm gonna put this last piece in. It's a guard to keep the trigger housing in place. Alright, now with the punch, I'm just lightly gonna put it to the side and put pressure on it to make sure it's securely in. Yep. And same thing right here in the back. Alright, that's good to go. Next, I'm going to assemble the slide back. Alright, so first what we're going to do is I am going to get this little pin, little spring. Next, I'm going to go ahead and place the plunger back in. There we go. And just a couple hiccups. Alright. Oh, see, it's always best to get parts just in case, extra parts just in case this does go sideways. Alright. Put that in place. Alright. It's got its pressure. Next, I'm going to go ahead and place the extractor back in. Next, I'm going to place this in. And that keeps the extractor in and the plunger in place. Next, the striker, I'm going to place that back in. Alright, so all the tensions are good to go. Next, I'm going to put the back plate. With this, I got to press down on the striker, so that way that overlaps. And then with the punch, I'm going to press down on the, careful not to lose this. Allowing, oh, yep. Trying to not get my hands on the way in front of the video. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get my hands in front of the video, so excuse me. All right, back plate is in place. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and place the barrel back in, and then the guide rod or recoil spring. Put that back in. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the slide back together with the firearm pointing in a safe direction. Next, I'm going to do a functions check. I'm going to pull the trigger, make sure everything still operates. Firing striker strikes. Slide the barrel back, or slide back. Release. Here for a reset. And then pull the trigger. So the firearm is now fully assembled, magazine empty, back in place, checking the magazine release, see if everything works. Yes, yes, Lock the slide back. Slide lock works. Magazine. Pull slide back on an empty magazine, see if it locks. It locks. Amazing. Release the slide and function check again, pull on the trigger, and that works. Alright, this is Joshua Hernandez again, FTT 104, and again today is June 7th. I hope you like my presentation, and I will try and put the correct names of the two parts that I couldn't name right off the back. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day and a great weekend.